Welcome to the Brad and Taylor Show. Today we have Mikaelah Gaston.
You're listening to the Brad and Taylor Show, a podcast that inspires entrepreneurs to pursue their passions. We're sitting down with some of the best to learn how they got started and some lessons they learned along the way.
Hey, Mikaelah.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Good. How are you guys?
We're good.
We're doing good. So let's get started. Tell us a little bit about you, kind of what exactly do you do?
So I'm a realtor here in Jackson, Michigan. I'm 21 years old. I think I'm the youngest realtor in Jackson. I'm pretty sure I am.
Nice.
And then I'm also a CrossFit trainer.
Awesome. I like it. So when you were younger, which wasn't too long ago, what did you plan for your future? Do you want to be an agent? Because if you're 21, you probably didn't have much time to. What did you do? Anything else? What else did you do? Or is this your plan?
So in high school, kind of how I got into real estate was I had this class and it was like a senior transitions class. And I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do. When I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet, but I didn't necessarily want to do 8 years of schooling. So I was freaking out my senior year, had no idea what I wanted to do. And I had this teacher and she was like, hey, you have to job shadow somewhere to pass my class. And I was like, oh, okay, great. Yeah. But where am I going to job shadow? And some family friends of mine own Sproat Realty Professionals.
Okay.
So I was like, hey, can I come in and job shadow for the day? So I could pass my class. And then I went in there and I actually really loved it. Like I loved the energy, just how fast paced everything was. I totally fell in love with it. And I was like, hey, can I stay a little bit longer? And they're like, yeah, of course. And I started working there my senior year of high school.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Cool. So did you get licensed your senior year then, or did you have to wait?
I had to wait. I was 17 when I graduated. So
Okay.
I would just go in after school, kind of like help out with office things, just get familiar. And then I turned 18 the month after I graduated. So I was able to go get licensed then.
Awesome. Did that kind of experience with you being able to go and kind of shadow help you out, do you think, when you went to your first transaction?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Take us to that first transaction. Was it smooth right off the get-go, or how did that go for you?
I would say it was pretty smooth. So I work with Susie Molman, and she's kind of been like my mom throughout real estate, I feel like. So I had her by my side the whole time, and it was actually her listing that I had the deal on. So it was super awesome. And my client, I actually still talk to this day. It was a smooth transaction. She loves her home, still talk to her. So
nice.
That's awesome.
I know it's pretty important to build those relationships. Have you gotten any other advice? I know you're newer, but have you gotten any advice from Susie maybe, or anyone on your team that has just kind of stuck with you?
Yes, definitely. I would say the most important advice and that I've really taken to heart is just to be genuine. You'll see like a lot of realtors trying to sell themselves, I feel like, or really market themselves, but that's not really what our job is to do. We're here to help people. So, just be genuine, be yourself, and just be kind to people. The money will follow.
Yeah, for sure. How has it been with you being so young, getting clients? Do you feel like there's a pushback with that, or what do you think about that?
Yes and no. So people are either really impressed or they're kind of like, oh no, like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're like, I've been doing this for like 3 years now.
People?
Like I know what I'm doing. Like I have more experience than other people.
When I was 18, when I started, I was so scared. Just like, I didn't want people to know that I was 18. So I was talking to my broker about it and she goes, you know what, just tell people when they ask how old you are, just say I'm old enough to sell real estate and just change the topic. So That's why I used to say. No, I don't really care so much, but
yeah, you're like, I got 3 years now. I mean, realistically, 3 years is quite a long time, especially, you're like 3 years is pretty good experience. Like you probably seen most everything now. So you're like, just another transaction, let's go.
Speaking of seeing different things in this industry, what's the worst property you've been to?
Oh, I was working with this guy and I'm not going to get into the whole backstory, but so basically he owned this property. It was kind of like a family dilemma. And long story short, there's a squatter in there.
Oh.
And the house just hadn't been taken care of. So we walk into the house, and I remember vividly that is the first time I had ever seen a cockroach in person.
Oh,
They
Oh
were
man.
like coming out of the walls, and there was probably hundreds of them. So
wow.
I can't even imagine how many were in the floor, like in the walls, just under things. Like the ceiling was caving in. It was a mess.
Did the clients end up purchasing that one?
So I was supposed to list it for this guy, and we did
Gotcha.
not
Okay.
list it.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
That's
that one might
crazy.
be kind of hard to. I don't even know how you. What do you do? Like bomb the house? I don't even know
I
how
don't
you would clean
know.
that up.
That's crazy. So tell us
Really
about your
sure.
first transaction. What was like, how did that first one go since you were like kind of new? You're like, I got to figure this out. I probably have some help. But how did that first one go?
Yeah, were you able to call Susie? I know you said she was kind of like your mom throughout the process. Were you able to call her with every question that you had?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I still call and text her probably way too much. So her and I share an office, and like any question I had, she was always there to answer. So I'm super thankful for that. So I think it went so smooth because of her. If I didn't have her there, it probably would have been pretty rocky.
Yeah. Is there anything you focus on for marketing? I know back when we first started the call, we had talked about keeping in touch with clients or a past client that you had. Is there anything that you do specifically to market yourself or to keep in touch with past clients?
Honestly, no. So
Okay.
when I started in real estate, I used to really focus on marketing and kind of the keeping in touch and things like that. But I honestly, a lot of my business comes from past clients and referrals.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, going back to what I said earlier, I think if you do a good job, the money will follow.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome for being newer and having the referrals like that. That's really good. Good job.
thank you.
Is there anything that you would do differently if you could start over today?
Um, I don't think so. No.
Yeah. Okay. What
Yeah.
about if you had $1,000 to start off with and you had the same knowledge that you have now? How would you spend that?
I would spend that money using better tools to market
Mhm.
our listings better. So for example, better photographers, videographers, things like that. Like I have an awesome photographer now. I wish I had him 3 years ago.
That comes with time, though. I feel like
Mm.
you learn as you go. So,
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure. Yeah, that's awesome. So what is like one big thing that's changed since the beginning when you started to like right now? Like what is like one big thing that you've changed that's kind of helped you a ton?
Um, just being more confident, I would say,
Yeah.
which that comes with experience and that comes with time.
Yep.
But it's kind of a fake it till you make it thing in real estate, honestly. Like you just have to really be confident that you know what you're talking about, you're going to do a good job, and not to freak out about things so much. In a real estate transaction, there's so many moving parts. And it's very easy to freak out and just stress out about everything and trying to control things. But you just have to let things go, kind of go
Yeah.
with the flow.
mm-hmm.
Stay
Yeah, for
calm.
sure. That's awesome. Yeah. What kind of like social media platforms are you using now? Like what cuz like yeah, like what platforms are you using right now as your like main platform?
I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook a little bit. I know some agents are using TikTok, but I
Yeah.
can't make TikToks. It's not for me. It's
Yeah.
not.
Have you made a video before for like Facebook or anything?
I
Like that?
have.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do it again.
Yeah. They're kind of nerve wracking, aren't they?
They're very nerve-wracking.
Have you
Yeah,
gone
for
live
sure.
before on Facebook or on Instagram or anything like that?
No, I should though. Honestly, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about when COVID, I know we had like a big shutdown for a little bit and you were starting out, so you weren't, I mean, I don't know how.
It's 2 years. She got 2 years.
Yeah,
That's 2
yeah.
years.
You got 2 years, but what major things have changed since then? Was that time, how did you use that time?
I used that time. That's when I was doing videos and stuff. Like I
Okay.
was trying everything because we literally couldn't work. I
Yeah.
mean, we were
Yeah.
stuck at home, and I was like, how do I keep myself in front of people? So I would just try and post things to interact with people, like
Mhm.
potential clients and things like that. But it was tough. It was very, very tough.
Yeah, because how long were you guys shut down for where you couldn't even show homes?
A couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was it? What was the first day? Like April or March?
It was March. I think like March 14th or something where everything
Yeah.
was just like,
It was till May.
Yeah.
I think May 9th or somewhere around there. I just
Yeah,
remember the day to go back.
I remember vividly, I was showing a house and we were kind of talking about if things were going to get shut down, and we're probably like, oh no, I'm sure it'll be fine.
yeah.
It was literally 12 o'clock and
Yeah.
she came on the TV and like it was on our phones and everything. And we're like, oh, well, we didn't know what to do.
Change of plans.
We're like, how many
Yeah.
showings can we get done today?
right? Yeah. Did you rush to get those done that day or were you kind
yeah.
of, yeah.
Yeah, we did
Yeah,
the
we
same
were all
thing.
freaking out.
We did the
Yeah.
same thing. We were like, how, like, we had one of our admins start that day. Like, they literally started that day. And she was on a photo shoot with me. And I remember I'm like, how long can you be here today? Because we're going to go
We got
all night
some
long.
work to do.
We're going till sunset. As many as we can get done, we're getting done. And it was a crazy day. But I remember that. And then everything opened back up and we're all running away like crazy. So
Mhm.
Did you
So-
ever do the Zoom calls when you were doing the tours when things started to open back up slowly? I know a couple
did,
agents
yeah.
were doing, the Zooms.
What? And it was so crazy because it was like realtors couldn't work, but home inspectors could. So I remember I had a deal where these clients of mine found this house that got listed because we could list things, but we just couldn't be in there.
Right.
We couldn't leave our house. So they went and checked out the house, they just drove by it. They couldn't go in it. And they said, we want to write an offer on it. So we did all the paperwork online. I did a little Zoom meeting with them. We e-signed everything. And then they did their home inspection. And that was the first time they got to see the house. And I still couldn't even be there. So I was on FaceTime with them going through the house.
Right.
did they
So crazy.
did it end up going all the way through?
Yep.
That's awesome.
hmm
That's awesome.
If
It's crazy.
anything, I know the past year just gave you more experience. I mean, if it happens again, you'll know what to do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, hopefully this never happens
I know.
in our lifetimes again,
Yeah.
but you never know. You never know. We didn't know we were going to get locked down.
Yeah. Is there any books that you have read, good business books that you could recommend to anybody?
So the one I've been thinking about, it's not necessarily a business book.
Okay.
But for the younger realtors, it's called The Defining Decade, and it's basically all about your 20s. I think it's so awesome. The very last line of the book, it's the author, she's telling about the story, how I think she was like backpacking in the mountains, and it was like sketchy weather. It was starting to get dark, and she goes up to this park ranger and she goes, am I going to make it? And the guy replies back, well, you haven't decided if you are yet. So, and I think that's kind of about your life and your career. You decide exactly what you're going to be.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you decide your path. That's a good one. What was that called again?
The Defining Decade by Meg J.
I'll have to check it out. Awesome.
like it.
Well, how can people get a hold of you before we go today?
Email or phone. My email is Mikaelah, my first name, at sproatrealty.com. And my phone number is 517-358-8030.
Perfect. That's awesome. Hey, thanks for coming on and sharing your story with us today.
Yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Are these working? Here we go.
Oh, there we go. I think they're working. Should we tell them,
Mine keeps falling. It doesn't like my voice.
what do we got to tell them?
Subscribe.
Subscribe? What do we got to point at? Hey, I think there's a subscription button, like,
It might be there.
might be right there too,
Somewhere.
somewhere.
Find it. It's red.
Yeah. And it's
Red.
blue. It's green. I don't really know.
It's a color.
This mic isn't even attached. Did you plug these in? Well, I guess,
I wonder if they can hear us.
yeah. I wonder if they hear us. Well, we should probably tell them if they can hear us. We should probably tell them also give us a 5-star review for listening to on Apple. That'd be cool.
5
5-star
stars,
review.
guys.
Share it with everybody they can think of.
We won't take
But-
4 stars.
I mean, Taylor, I don't even think these are on. I mean,
No, I don't think this is working.
This is not working.
Yeah.